Hello everyone, welcome back to Bridgemaster Advanced Problems. We're close to the end here. Gonna start on D-11 today. Probably do 11 through 20, hopefully. What's going on? 1 no, 3 no. Okay. We have to take 9 tricks. We have 2 hearts and 3 clubs. For sure, that's 5 tricks. We could set up 2 spades if we wanted. That would be 7, and then the ace of diamonds would be 8. But we would be short, and then they would run all the hearts. So, we can't just knock out the spades. I think this is a discovery play sort of hand, where if we have to, we're going to fall back on, like, the diamond finesse. But that, I think, is going to be our last resort. Or, well, sorry. We'll fall back on diamond splitting. Because if diamonds are 2-2, regardless of the layout, we're going to take 4 diamond tricks. And that is enough? Yes. Because I have 3 clubs and 2 hearts. So if diamonds are 2-2, we're fine. That can be our fallback, as long as we have time to do it. But if clubs are 3-3, then we don't need the diamond finesse. We can cash all the clubs, set up 2 spades. Take 4 clubs, 2 spades, 2 hearts, and a diamond. I think that's... And also, if the diamond finesse works, then we don't need the diamonds to split at all. We can go back to spades. So, in isolation in diamonds, if you have to play this suit for 4 winners, you should cash the ace and then lead up to the queen. This succeeds anytime the suit is 2-2 and anytime the king is onside, but also when West has the singleton king, compared to just taking the finesse immediately, which you lose to singleton king. However, on this deal, I believe that is the wrong thing to do, because we don't necessarily want to lose any diamond tricks. If we can take 2 of them, that's enough. As long as we take them right away without losing a trick, we can go back to spades. So we're going to try to combine our chances in all 3 of these suits. First, we cash every single club to find out how the suit is breaking. If it had been 3-3, we would not touch diamonds. We would go after spades now. But it wasn't 3-3. So now, we can play a diamond to the queen. This loses to the king. And we're reduced to hoping that diamonds are splitting. They're not. Really? I'm actually surprised that's wrong. I thought I argued fairly convincingly that, like, you want to lose... You don't necessarily want to lose a diamond, right? If you play the ace and then low to the queen... You'll... well... If West has king third, excuse me, that's when, well, I guess, what is the holding where finessing on the first round actually helps you compared to ace and then queen? It's East having king third, right? No. Because in that case, the finesse works, and you just draw a diamond. You could go after spades, but you could also go after diamonds anyway. So, actually, when does finessing early help? I was thinking, oh, if the diamond finesse works, I don't need the suit to be 2-2 anymore, and I can go after spades. But in fact, if the diamond finesse works, unless the suit is 4-0, you're fine either way. So I guess you're right. Taking the finesse on the first round is only better if East has all 4 diamonds. And it's worse if West has the stiff king, which is a little bit more likely. So I guess we cash 2 clubs. Cash the ace of diamonds. Then another club. So that I can be in dummy after finding out the suit isn't 3-3. And now lead a diamond? Yeah, now we're rewarded. This was the right thing. Well, that's a little embarrassing. Let's see if Fred agrees. Or if he even mentions, like, king fourth. Yeah, okay. You have to time the play carefully to maximize chances. It says lay down the ace. In case West has the stiff king. Sure. Actually, yeah, he doesn't mention, well, yet, that the king fourth position possibility. When they both follow and the king doesn't drop, you try the clubs. If one of the defenders discards on clubs, you have to finesse diamonds. The recommended line will lead to success whenever it is possible to make the contract. Is that true, though? What if East has king fourth? Then you could succeed by finessing. Right? Did I miscount my tricks somewhere? 2 hearts, 3 clubs is 5. 2 diamonds is 7. Okay. So what if East has king fourth? You lay down the ace. West shows out. And now, sure, you can take a diamond finesse. But you won't be able to cash it in time to enjoy the spades. You need the ace. I'm going to open this one in the double dummy solver too. BRB. Alright, I put this into a double dummy solver, but I changed the diamond layout. I gave West all 4 of them. Because my belief was that the recommended line will go down in that case, but my line would have made it. So let's see. West leads a heart. Oh, right. This is to take 4 tricks, not for 3-no to make 4. Okay, contract's 3-no, though. Heart, I think technically it was the jack, but it shouldn't matter. King, ace. Yeah, see, ace of diamonds loses the contract here. You'll take only 8 tricks if you lay it down. I think it's still the right play, barely. Because West having a void is slightly less likely than having a singleton king. But not like a huge amount less likely. And Fred claimed in the solution that, where did it go? Yeah. It was like the last line, right? It makes any time this line makes any time it is possible to make. The recommended line will lead to success whenever it is possible to make the contract. But obviously not true, right? So far, we don't know that East has 4 diamonds. So, like, this could have been the position of the deal. And the ace of diamonds loses the contract. It's the best play, I agree. And I should have thought it through more carefully before leading low to the queen. Because the reason I thought leading low to the queen was right is not this holding. Well, it kind of is. I didn't think of king fourth specifically, but my idea was like, oh, well, if you can win just 2 diamonds, you don't need the king. And what if by cashing the ace, you allow East to hop with the king and, like, still have a diamond stopper? I sort of forgot that in order for him to still have a diamond stopper, he would have to have 4, but... Okay, well, I'll write an angry letter to Fred. I won't, actually, but we'll just pretend. Alright, tough one to start the night out, huh? Or the day, or whenever you're watching this. of the session. D-12. We're in 4 hearts. West has bid a spade. Okay, so they're going to play spade, spade, rough, I assume. East pitches a club. Better win the ace. Can't make my contract if I duck this. Well, we need... I mean, like, okay. If hearts... If one defender still has 4 hearts, i.e. they have all 4 hearts, either because West originally had 4 and East 1, or because East was dealt 5, we can't make the contract, right? We need the remaining hearts to be 3-2, 3-1, or 2-2. But that's pretty likely, right? It's not super likely that East had a singleton in both spades and hearts, and it's not super likely that West has a void heart. So probably the trumper coming in. And in Bridgemaster, we can say that with certainty because the contract's unmakeable, and Bridgemaster never gives you unmakeable contracts. So we can pitch 2 clubs on the ace-king of diamonds if we want. And then we can rough 1 club. Or we could try roughing 2 clubs and pitch only 1 club on the diamonds. I mean, it seems better to take just 1 rough, right? Because you'll only fail if one defender has 6 diamonds if you try this. So why is it not right to just play ace of hearts, club rough, diamonds, hearts? What's wrong with that? I don't think anything is wrong with it. I think this is just a lesson to remind you, even though you only want 1 club rough, you can't afford to draw 2 trumps because you need another trump to have an entry back to hand. So we cash 1, and then we rough. Now, yeah, so now we're making the contract. But imagine if we had already played one round of hearts and we're stuck in dummy. We can even play this here and say, okay, now imagine I magically got back to dummy. That's the position we would be in if I had cashed 2 hearts earlier. The problem would be you would lead the 3rd round of diamonds, and West might very well be able to over-rough it. In fact, it looks like well, we don't know if he would or wouldn't, but probably. Anyway, that's a risk. This way, by retaining the trump re-entry to hand, you avoid going down when West was dealt a doubleton diamond. Like this. And 3 hearts. Doubleton diamond and 3 hearts. We have 9 side suit tricks, which means we just need 3 trumps. This looks to me... I see. I think I see what they're trying to teach me here. Maybe. So there's a well-known safety play in a heart suit like this, which we've used a few times throughout this series. If you want to take the maximum number of tricks from this suit, you should play load the jack and probably cash the ace first, but I'm not sure. Actually, the ace first doesn't even help, does it? Because sure, if West... Well, I guess it does. If West drops the stiff... No. You cash the ace, and East drops the stiff queen, which is the main thing Ace helps with. Your plan is to finesse the jack, and if you're going to do that, you might as well cash the ace first, in case East has stiff queen, right? No. Because even if the ace drops the stiff queen, West still has a trick with his 10-8-7 of hearts. 10, 8, 7, 4. He played the 4. He has 10, 8, 7 left. So, that's if you want the maximum number of tricks. The safety play is to cash the king and then lead an honor from lead low from either hand towards the 9 in hand or the jack in dummy. That way, if either player, either opponent, has 4 trumps, you still have an honor or a useful card. Yeah, an honor remaining above both of their honors. So you can lose just one heart trick. However, there's a complication on this hand. Suppose that you try that. You win the ace, cash the king of hearts, and lead low to the 9. If East has all 4, are you fine? I guess so. Because he doesn't want to split with the 10, I think. Yeah. He'll play low, you'll play the 9, and you'll be fine. But what if West has 4? You'll play the king, and then low to the 9, but East shows out. So you say, aha, I'll play the ace and return a heart to the jack. That way, like, West's queen 10 can only take 1 trick, right? Well, not quite. West can pop with the queen and play a spade, forcing dummy to ruff, and dummy's only heart is the jack. So you won't actually be able to cover West's 10 with the jack in that case. Is the story any different if you cash the king and then cross to hand and lead up to the jack? In that case, if West has 4, you're fine because you play the jack early enough that he can only force you to ruff small. What if East has 4? Then, when you play low to the jack, he'll win that with the queen, but he can't force dummy either. I mean, he can, but it'll be with a small one, and that's fine. Yeah, so I think you still have the safety play available, but you have to remember that dummy's small hearts are somewhat precious. You can't afford to use them. Well, you might need to use them to ruff a spade, let's put it that way. So you have to make sure to protect them. You can't afford to use one to lead up to the ace when that might not be when that might not be necessary. Instead, you cross to hand and lead up to dummy. Now West can tap us here, but that's fine. And slightly better to try using a club as a second entry. It's more likely that West has a singleton diamond with 7 missing than to have a void club with 6 missing. So we cross, cash the ace of hearts, and we're looking good. Next deal, please. Opponent's silent after a 1 no trump opening. We're in 3. I assume East's going to cover this? Yeah. So ducking would be probably foolish. East could just return a diamond, and we only have 2 stoppers. Which means we would need clubs to split. If we win this, we have some extra chances, which is that maybe it's difficult for East to get on lead and put a diamond through the queen jack. So I think what we want to do is like lead clubs through West, right? So that if he has ace fourth, he can't afford to just pop. That way we can steal 2 club tricks and maybe get to work on something else. Does that make sense? 4, 5, 6. If we took 2 club tricks, we could just go back to hearts. Now, what if East has the ace? Well, actually, yeah, leading clubs through West doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Like, you shouldn't just lay down the jack, but if West has the ace of clubs, it doesn't really matter what you do, right? He can't lead diamonds. So you'll eventually take 4 spades, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, and a heart. So if West has the ace, you don't need to lead up the king-queen. It's only if East has the ace that you're in danger. And you can try to protect against East having a singleton ace, I suppose, by leading a club towards the jack in hand. And then you can take a similar play in hearts. Lead a heart towards the queen. Again, if East has the ace, he can't afford to play it. And if West has the ace, you should be fine. Maybe? Are you fine if West has the ace? What if he wins the ace of hearts and returns a heart? Gives up on diamonds. Then we'll have taken 2 diamonds. 4 spades is 6. A club we ran through is 7. A heart we set up is 8. There's some danger that West has 5 hearts, I suppose. And also, but then we can just duck to cut off the communication in hearts, right? We'll already know he doesn't have the ace of clubs, probably. So I think that wins fairly often. So we stole a club. Now let's try to steal a heart. Having succeeded in both of these, we turn our attention back to clubs. And we definitely do not finesse here. It looks like, hey, if East has the 10, we'll get an extra trick. And if West has the 10, I don't mind if he wins 1 diamond. We do mind, though, because he might win it and put a heart through, and then the defense could take several more heart tricks. Perhaps as many as 3 more. In addition to the diamond they're taking, that would defeat the contract. So we have to win this. Cash the spades. And cash the club. So it feels like there's a tiny risk if, like, West has ace-fifth of hearts and also very cleverly ducks the jack of clubs from an original 3-2 holding. But that's a pretty tough play to make. I wonder if Fred mentions it. Low club to jack. East has to duck the ace. Yeah, I don't care if West is able to win the ace because he can't attack diamonds. Crossing spades and lead to heart. If East has it, he has to duck. If West has it, he'll win it, but he can't attack diamonds. So he doesn't mention the possibility that West might actually have 5 hearts. I agree. It seems quite unlikely for him to have 5 hearts. But you could conceivably go down here if he did. He could duck the first club to make sure he still has an entry. Like, if West could read your mind and knew exactly your cards and also your plan, he could defeat you by ducking the first club. However, like, I don't know how brilliant an idea that is. I guess, I don't know, if he actually has ace-x or ace-third, ducking it is very natural. There's no point winning it, right? And then when you lead a heart to the queen, he'll say, aha, I'm all set now, go after the hearts. The reason, like, that's just a very unlikely layout to begin with. We already know he has a decent number of diamonds because he led them. And if he had 5 hearts, he, like, would be leading hearts instead most of the time. Especially if they were ace, jack, 10, 9, 8 or something, right? Or ace, jack, 9, 8, 7, I guess is what he would have had. So, sure, you can kind of say that holding is very unlikely, but it's not technically impossible. And it is something to think about. But it's much less likely than, like, you know, the stuff you're trying to protect against by taking the line Fred recommends. 3-no, opponent's silent. We shouldn't duck this because they would just switch to hearts and that's worse. So we should win it. The clubs are the obvious, like, interesting part of the deal. I think you're probably supposed to cash the 8. Like, okay, in isolation, to play this suit for 4 winners. Well, okay, first, how many do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 side winners. To play this suit for 4 winners, in isolation, with unlimited time and entries, you should cash the ace, then lead up to the queen jack twice. This is a little better than leading up to the queen jack twice without cashing the ace, because it also wins if West has the stiff king. Question is, can we afford to do that on this deal? You could win the king, ace of clubs, diamond to the king, club. But the problem is you can't really repeat that finesse, right? If East has king fourth, you can't get back to dummy to repeat the finesse against him, can you? Obviously, you still have the ace of spades you could use, but if you cash that... Oh, I guess that's sort of fine? Yeah, because... if spades... You're only in danger, assuming you can get 4 club tricks, if spades are 5-2, right? Is that true? Maybe it's not. You're only in immediate danger. Well, you're not even then, right? Yeah, actually, I don't even see what the problem is. That's always a sign of someone who solved the problem. When they say, there doesn't seem like anything hard's going on. You cash the ace, you cross in diamonds, and you finesse. Yeah, as expected, West shows out. So now we can just cash a spade, and we can lead a club. It looks a little scary. What if East wins this and, like, leads a spade? That's fine. The defense don't have enough spades to set the contract. Or, I mean, yeah, West has 3 of them at most, and East has 0 in that case. So he can't cross. If East has a spade, then West only has 2, and they aren't beating you. You could even duck this trick just for fun, right? Oh, no, you can't. I take that back. Because it's possible that West is the one with 5 spades. He might have 3 left. West found a brilliant lead, maybe. So yeah, you really do have to win this. I thought it might be fun to duck, but it's a really bad idea. It's tough to find a lead from shortness against no trump, but sometimes you have a hand where that makes sense. So we shouldn't just assume that West has 5 for when we don't have to assume that. No, opponent's silent after we opened a club of diamond. So they don't have anything too extreme, probably. This, well... we have plenty of stoppers in clubs to work on diamonds, right? Yeah. If you can play the diamonds for just 2 losers... we have enough stoppers in hearts and spades that'll be fine. And do we have enough in clubs? Yes. We also have 2 stoppers there, and they can only cash 2 winners in the meantime. So the hand is all about solving diamonds for just 2 losers. And you could play low to the queen, succeeding when West has ace-king and at most 3 cards. So ace, king, X, basically. We'll even lead at 1, and he plays small. Okay. You could play the queen, succeeding anytime West has the ace and king, and not the jack. All right, the opponents have 8 diamonds between them. Ace, king, jack, X, X. 4, 3, I guess, are the X's. So if we play the queen, we succeed whenever West has the ace and king, but not the jack. Are there any other layouts we succeed in? I don't think so. Not when we play the queen, anyway. If East has either one of the honors, then you're definitely going to lose 2 more diamonds, and that's too many. So, okay. You win, like, a quarter of the time by playing the queen here, probably. It's much better to play low, I believe. If this forces an honor from East, you still haven't... Well, okay, it'll force an honor, either the jack or higher one. But if it forces the ace or king from East, you're still not home, right? You have to figure out how to play the rest of the suit to avoid losing 2 tricks. Because the opponents will still have ace, jack, X remaining. If they're in the same hand, well, you're dead. If they're in the west hand... Well, sorry, if they're split, you have to figure out, is the ace singleton or is the jack singleton remaining, right? Let's put in the 5 here. It's clearly wrong. Undo? Why is this wrong? I don't like this. So I get that, like, East could have singleton jack, in which case the queen is better than low. But that's pretty unlikely, right? Isn't it kind of more likely that by finessing the jack, forcing a high honor, you could then... you could either play for the jack to be remaining singleton, in which case lead the queen, or the other high honor to be remaining singleton, in which case play low. So this finesse succeeds when West has the jack and you correctly guess whether a high honor was doubleton or the jack was doubleton. I guess it's not quite as good as that because if East has a doubleton high honor, he'll win it here, and then you can't do anything. So you would have to guess whether West has a doubleton high honor, in which case duck, or either player has a doubleton jack, in which place queen. So it seems like you should play either player for doubleton jack, right? Well, but you can't... I see. If the first round finesse won, you can't assume East has doubleton jack, ace jack, because he would have just won the jack instead of the ace. So you would be playing either West for doubleton jack, or West for doubleton honor in that case. But he can't have a doubleton honor, because he didn't play the jack. Sorry, he can't have doubleton jack, because he would have played it here instead of the 4. So if low wins here, the layouts where you can possibly make are West having doubleton jack or East having doubleton ace king. And you have to guess which of those you have. Doubleton jack is twice as likely as doubleton ace king. So you would play low to the 5, and then queen. But I guess the point is, that works only when East has both the ace and king. And if you're playing one player for the ace and king, it might as well be West. Play the queen on trick 1. And that way you also succeed in some 4-1 layouts, which you couldn't do the other way. Right? Play the queen trick 1. And even if West has ace-king 4th, you can still make it. Whereas there are no 4-1 splits that you're picking up by finessing low here. And the other stuff all cancels out, I think. Interesting. This, like, feels familiar to me. I'm sure I got this problem wrong when I played it many years ago. It's been a tough round today for the advanced problems, huh? Several errors. Yeah. So does Fred explain the possible layouts more clearly? Yeah, don't play on clubs. Yeah, sure. That seems very obvious. Don't play on. So you do play on diamonds. Diamond West follow small. Decide what to play from dummy. Small diamond, planning to play the queen on the second round, will succeed whenever West has a doubleton jack. But low and then duck also succeeds when West has a doubleton honor. No, it doesn't. I keep forgetting that. It would succeed when East has doubleton ace-king. But playing the queen is better because it wins when East has a doubleton jack or when he has a singleton jack. Sure. I guess the point is... not the point. He doesn't mention the worst line of leading low to the... taking a finesse and then ducking. Because that only succeeds when East has doubleton ace-king. Doesn't it? Yeah. And if you ignore the worst line, the best line wins whenever West has doubleton... Well, the best line that includes a finesse, the best follow-up to the finesse, wins whenever West has a doubleton jack. Low to the queen plays East for doubleton jack or singleton jack. And of course both lines work if West has the singleton jack, because he'll play it on the first diamond trick and you just play the queen. So we don't have to think about that possibility. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. If West goes up with an honor... Okay, don't tell me what I should do. I see the jack is there. I assume that means the right line is to lead the queen. But why? When West plays honor, you can either play for... Well... The queen wins if West has... Well, it won't win the trick, but the queen secures the contract when West has king jack or honored jack doubleton, or when he has honor third, ace king third, I should say. The 10 wins only when he has ace king doubleton, so that seems much worse. We should play the queen. Yes. Okay. 3-0, opponent's silent. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tricks. So we have to set up 2 more, which we could do in a couple of ways. I think I know the answer here, but we have to set them up in either spades or clubs, right? It obviously doesn't work to go after hearts because even if the suit is 3-3 and you can establish the suit by losing only 1 trick, the defense will just cash all the diamonds. You have to get 2 tricks without losing the lead once. You might as well duck here, I suppose. Maybe they'll make a mistake. But of course they don't. And now you have to find one black queen, right? You could try a finesse in either suit, or you could play for the drop and maybe the queen falls. And then if it doesn't, turn to the other suit and play for the finesse there. I believe it's definitely going to be correct to play 2 rounds of clubs. And if the queen falls, claim. If the queen doesn't fall, take 2 spade finesses. It's a little tempting. I think a mistake some beginners make is when you have a holding like this, it looks nice to cash the ace first in case West has the singleton queen, right? Then you can take the finesse anyway. But you have to finesse twice, and dummy doesn't have enough spades to do that if you lead the ace. So cashing the ace succeeds when West has singleton queen, but gives away the contract when West was dealt any 2 small cards. And there's way more ways to have 2 small cards than there are to have a singleton queen. So you should not cash either ace. Now the other question is, why not cash spades and then finesse clubs? Why cash clubs and then finesse spades? The answer to that is, well, you should... Taking the finesse in either suit is a 50-50. But playing for the drop in clubs is better than playing for the drop in spades because we have more clubs than we do spades. So we play ace-king. We didn't find the queen, and we finesse spades. Cross back to dummy with a heart. I guess it's also important to cash the clubs in the right order. I should have mentioned that. It seems obvious, but if you cash the clubs in the wrong order, king then ace, you won't have enough dummy entries for 2 spade finesses. So you have to play ace then king. 2-no, presumably showing minors here. Okay. We have 7 hearts. Three aces. And if we could get to dummy, we would have whatever trick we got to dummy with, and a club. It's looking a little grim. I think we're going to draw trump, and then there kind of has to be some end play against West, so we're hoping he follows suit on this heart. Yes. Since he has 2 hearts, he... And surely 5-5 in the minors, at least. There's not room for even 2 spades. So we cash this spade. And now West has only minor suit cards. We cash the ace of clubs to get out of the way of dummy. And we hope West has the king of diamonds, which probably is correct. West wins, and we have 2 spade losers, but West can't lead a spade. He has to put us in dummy with a diamond, or, well, a minor. We cash the other minor suit winner to pitch the last spade loser and run all the trump. You know, I was just thinking what would be cool. What if... So Bridgemaster is, obviously a carefully crafted set of problems. And people in newspapers and other sorts of columns are, devising such problems. And they're great. Everybody loves them. But, it requires effort from somebody to put those together. On Lichess, a chess website, the puzzles section is generated automatically by people who play games online, and the computer analyzes the games and, determines somehow that that a position would be an interesting puzzle. I think it is kind of there's one important main line that you have to find, and doing anything at all different is a mistake. And if that's true, then it says, oh, let's try this out as a problem. And, people who are looking for chess puzzles will get that one. And then it figures out the difficulty of the problem by how often people succeed at it. It would be pretty cool if you could automatically generate bridge problems in such a way by looking at deals people play on BBO. The problem with that is we don't yet have good single dummy bridge players, computers, right? The computer can look at a deal and say, oh, you played it wrong because you could have made it but you didn't. But it can't say you should have made it. Because, like, sometimes you're in a position where you just have to guess, do I take the spade finesse or the club finesse? Bridge Master is all about finding ways to tell you which one is right to take by scouting out the other suits or something. But if you're just doing double dummy analysis, the computer will say, oh, well, it's obviously right to take the spade finesse because the king is on side. You took the club finesse, you idiot. You went down. But if it is just a guess, it's a bad puzzle. So it would be really cool if, like, someone ever figures out good single dummy play, and computers are okay at it, but they're not really good enough to design problems, I think it would be pretty cool if they could somehow, like, run the random deals that people play through a competent single dummy computer and find layouts that make good puzzles that are less artificial than this, right? I think we're pretty far away from that happening, though. A lot of advances would need to be made in bridge AI for that to work out. Okay. The state of the art for bridge AI, I mean, okay, I don't know what the state of the art is. I know what the state of the art was a decade ago. And I think it's basically stayed the same. Is that the computers are there are very fast double dummy solvers available these days. They can analyze a deal in fractions of a second and find the line, how many tricks you take if you play whatever card. And what they do is they generate some number of deals that match what they currently believe. Like, maybe, in this position, all we really know is that West has the queen of clubs in addition to the king. So that a computer playing South would generate, 100 deals where West has the king and queen of clubs, and double dummy solve all of them, and then choose the card that is most likely that succeeds in the most of those layouts. It doesn't really work in a single dummy way. It just uses double dummy and computational power to come up with something plausible. But anyway, so I don't know. I'm getting distracted. Point is, if that's still what the state of the art is today, it is not a good foundation for building puzzles out of. I think I should duck this, but I don't have a good reason why. We have 5 hearts, a club, and 3 tricks in dummy, right? So that's 9 tricks. We need a 10th. That's why I should duck. If they allow me to take a club ruff, I'll make the contract. So by ducking, I force the defenders to play 2 rounds of hearts and concede the lead to me, while I still have the ace of clubs. If I won the ace of clubs and tried to duck a club, they would win it and draw trump, and I'd have a club loser but no way to ruff it, so there's no point doing that. The question is, though, assuming they do play 2 rounds, how am I taking another trick? It has to be in spades or diamonds. I think it's supposed to be in diamonds, right? Anyone a passed hand? No. Because low to the jack of spades succeeds only when West has king, queen, both the king and queen of spades, right? Low to a diamond succeeds anytime the suit is 3-3 or the queen drops singleton. Because you can play ace, then king, then ruff, and get back to dummy with a spade. A 3-3 split is definitely more likely than 2 finesses, which is what we're effectively taking against West. Is there some, like, hybrid plan? It looks almost like you have a squeeze against West if he happens to have 4 diamonds and the king-queen of spades. But I don't think the timing is right for it because you still have this club loser left that you can't really get rid of. Alright, well let's start by ducking a club and win the second heart. Oh, I guess you actually can just do both things, can't you? I sort of forgot I was going to have a club stopper. You can play a diamond. Nope, you should finish drawing trump first, you idiot. I forgot I hadn't done that. Play a diamond to the ace. Oh no, the queen didn't drop. Now play a top diamond and ruff a diamond. The suit didn't break, so we can't enjoy the last diamond. Or 2 diamonds, really, pitching our black suit losers. But we can still play West for the king and queen of spades. Play a spade, and if West splits, we're ducking. West didn't split, so we put in the jack. I'm getting the feeling this was the wrong line because I don't seem to be making it. Why was this wrong? So what was I supposed to do on this layout? And play someone into leading spades for you? That doesn't make any sense. The jack of clubs is a little bit... Sorry, diamonds is a little bit conspicuous. In that maybe you could convince someone to lead a diamond away from the queen, but I don't see how. And you could try, like, ducking a black suit trick to improve the count for a squeeze, right? But if you do that, they're going to knock out the ace of spades, which is dummy's entry. And then if diamonds were 3-3, you're going to go down, even though you could have made it by just playing diamonds and then roughing the third round. So ducking a black suit trick doesn't seem right. This is, like, hard. The advanced deals, level 3 deals, are not generally a problem for me, and especially not a problem if I can look at them double dummy. But I still, like, looking at all the cards, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. Oh, okay. I missed an important feature in the dummy. I see. I think... Well... I thought ducking the club would be kind of cool. But actually, I think... Oops, I just ducked even though I was just saying I shouldn't. I think, what if we played diamonds now? 2 rounds. So that I can ruff a diamond before trump are drawn. Ruff high. Now lose a club, threatening a club ruff. But also, if they draw trump, I'll be in dummy. And can ruff the last diamond. Now, when I finish drawing trump, the diamonds are winners. So there are definitely layouts where this line would fail and another line would succeed. Most notably if diamonds are 5-1, right? But other than that, it seems pretty rock solid. It's certainly much more likely than what I was doing earlier. Hoping for either diamonds 3-3 or West having king-queen of spades. The ability to ruff 2 diamonds was not apparent to me. But dummy's jack of hearts should have drawn my attention more than it did. Winning a trick in the dummy is valuable. If you've already ruffed out a single diamond. Nice. Good puzzle. West has a bunch of minors, and East apparently likes diamonds quite a bit. We're in 5 hearts. We're definitely losing the first 2 tricks in clubs. So... Oh, I see. The spade holding looks innocuous, but it's actually pretty important. You win the ace here. And how do you play the spades? You can play the ace, king, queen, and that'll work anytime West has, well, okay, anytime the spades are 3-2. Presumably that would be West having 2 of them, but maybe he has 3. We should cross to hand. And find out what's going on in hearts before attempting to play spades. So 2 to the ace. West follows. Now cross back to dummy. West follows again. So now we know West has at most 1 spade. Therefore, playing ace, king, queen works only if West's singleton spade is the jack. Quite a rare occurrence. However, if West has any other small spade, we can actually set up the 6 by finessing East 3 times. Lead the 10, East covers, we win. Cross back to dummy. Low to the 6, but East splits. Low back to the 4. Finesse again. And triumphantly on trick 13, cash the 6 of spades. So 4 times as likely to succeed as playing the ace of spades. You have to make sure to retain the 3 of hearts to make sure you can get to the 4. And this is the kind of thing where, like, sloppy play, you know, could get you, right? You haven't yet thought through the whole hand when it's time to rough your way to hand. I don't think you even have to do that. You could play the 2 to the ace and then the 10 back. But the important thing is to not play the 3 right away. And this is one of the things I've talked about before, where, like, I've at least built good enough habits that I don't make this kind of mistake routinely. Roughing with the 8 looks free, and it's more flexible in terms of entries. So just go ahead and do that. Don't rough with the 3. There's no reason to be so greedy. And, you know, dummy is the hand it looks like you might need entries to. So you should try to preserve those. Roughing with the ace is technically worse, but not in a way that really matters. It just means you won't be able to get 4 hand entries in hearts, which obviously you could never need. So you could ruff with the ace as well. Ruffing with the 8 is a better habit to be in, but on this deal it doesn't matter. And ruffing with the 3 is the worst habit, and it really does matter on this deal if you make that mistake. So okay, that was D11 through 20. Those were tougher than usual. I had more trouble than I would like to admit. But it's on video, so I don't have to admit it. You can just watch. Or remember having watched it over the course of the past hour. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for the last entry in the Advanced series.